If you've had your BMW serviced recently, there's a real chance you've already been caught in one of the new BMW dealership scams and didn't even realize it. Here's how it usually works. You go in for one basic service, maybe an oil change or brake inspection. Then you get a call recommending additional service that wasn't the reason you came in. It doesn't feel like a scam. It sounds responsible, so most owners approve it without thinking twice. But here's what almost no one checks. Every BMW has a factory service schedule that clearly states when each service is actually due based on mileage or time. If your car has 30,000 miles and they sell you a service BMW recommends at 60,000 miles, you just paid for something early. That's how a $300 visit turns into $1,500. And over a few years, that accumulates to thousands of dollars. In this video, we're exposing these dealership scams happening behind the service desk, how they work, how to spot them, and how to stop approving charges you don't actually need. Because this isn't about BMW being unreliable. It's about knowing when you're paying for the right maintenance. Scam 1. Inflated maintenance package bundles. Before agreeing to any maintenance package, ask them to print the exact services included and compare each one to your BMW's official service schedule in your owner's manual or on BMW's website. That simple check takes only a few minutes and immediately shows you whether the work is actually due. Here's what most people do. They're offered a prepaid maintenance bundle that promises savings and peace of mind. It sounds smart. Lock in today's pricing. Cover everything at once. So they sign. The problem is how these bundles are structured. They often group together services that are not due yet. Instead of following your car's real mileage and condition, the package follows a sales timeline. You end up paying early. You'll notice it when services are performed far sooner than BMW recommends. For example, your car may have 30,000 miles, but the package includes work BMW schedules closer to 60,000 miles. That difference is not about protecting your car. That difference is margin. The fix is simple. Ask for the factory interval for every item included. Compare it to your current mileage and how long you've owned the car. Remove anything that is not due within the next 12 months. If they hesitate, that tells you something. This small comparison can prevent a $300 visit from turning into a bundle costing $1,200 to $2,500. The money rarely goes into parts. It goes into prepaid labor and services performed early. If you drive extremely high mileage every year, a package can make sense, but only if the math truly matches your usage. And if you think bundling is where the padding stops, wait until you see how labor hours are quietly adjusted to raise the total without adding any extra work. Scam 2. Labor hour padding. The next time you approve a repair, ask one simple question. How many labor hours is BMW's flat rate manual assigning to this job? Not how long it takes, but how many hours are being billed. Most owners never ask. They see a total. They assume the number reflects actual time spent on the car. If the invoice shows 2.5 hours of labor, they assume the technician worked 2.5 hours. But dealership service departments don't bill by the clock. They bill by flat rate time. That means every job has a preset labor allowance. The problem is, when those times are rounded up, stacked together, or adjusted slightly in the dealership's favor. Over time, that causes quiet inflation. If a job officially calls for 1.6 hours, but you're billed 2.5, that extra difference is pure margin. At $180 to $250 per hour, even a half-hour adjustment adds up fast. You'll notice it when labor numbers consistently end in half hours or whole numbers. instead of precise figures. That's your cue to ask for the official labor guide time. Ask them to show you the flat rate time from BMW's service system. Compare it to what's printed on your invoice. If the build time is higher, ask why. Sometimes there is a valid reason. Many times, there isn't. This check takes less than 1 minute. Ignore it. And small adjustments across multiple visits can quietly cost you hundreds, sometimes thousands, over a few years. Scam 3. The required software update. Before approving any software update, ask one direct question. What fault code is this update fixing? If there is no stored fault code, warning light, or drivability issue, pause the approval. Most owners assume software updates are automatically necessary. It sounds technical. It sounds important. When the advisor says your vehicle needs an update, it feels like skipping it would be risky. Here's what most people don't understand. BMW software updates are usually performed to correct a specific fault, improve a known issue, or complete a recall without a stored fault or campaign notice. Many updates are optional optimizations, not urgent repairs. Over time, approving vague updates increases cost without measurable benefit. A single software session can cost $300 to $600. If it's bundled with diagnostics, the total can climb even higher. The charge isn't just for the software, it's for programming time, system resets, and dealership labor allocation. You'll notice this pattern when there are no warning lights, no performance complaints, and no documented fault codes. Yet you're told the update is recommended. Here's what to do instead. Ask them to print the fault code report. If there are no active or stored codes related to the update, ask whether it's tied to an official recall or service bulletin. If it isn't, ask what specific symptom the update is correcting. Scam 4. Premature brake replacement. Your next brake job, ask for one number, the exact pad thickness in millimeters. Not, they're getting low. Not, they're close. The actual measurement. Many BMW owners are told they need new brakes when the pads are still within safe operating range. It's framed as preventative. You're already here. We recommend doing it now. That language creates urgency, but brake pads are designed to wear down gradually. On most BMW models, pads are considered near replacement around 3 millimeters. Yet, it's common to see replacement recommended at 5 or even 6 millimeters. That difference can represent thousands of miles of remaining use. What causes this? Margin stacking. Dealership brake jobs often include pads, rotors, sensors, and full labor even when rotors are still within specification. Instead of replacing what's worn, the entire system is swapped. There is one exception. If you're about to take a long trip or the pads are truly near minimum thickness, replacing them early can make sense. But that decision should be based on measurement, not suggestion. Scam 5. Alignment and suspension. Upsells. When you're told your BMW needs an alignment, don't approve it immediately. First, ask a simple question. Is the car pulling to one side, or is there uneven tire wear? If the answer is no, slow down. This is one of the most common service desk add-ons because it sounds harmless. An alignment feels like routine maintenance. It feels protective. But in reality, wheel alignment is only necessary when there's a clear symptom: uneven tire wear, steering pull, or recent suspension work. Here's what most people miss. Minor steering drift on uneven roads is normal. Road crown alone can make a vehicle feel slightly off-center. That doesn't mean the alignment is out of specification. Over time, approving unnecessary alignments becomes a quiet pattern. At $200 to $300 per visit. Repeating this every year without real symptoms can cost over $1,000 across a few ownership cycles. The money goes almost entirely into labor time on the alignment rack. You can spot this upsell when there's no visible inner tire wear, no vibration, and no steering pull. Yet it's still labeled as recommended. If you notice rapid inner tire wear, check the control arm bushings or suspension components first, because that usually means mechanical wear, not simple alignment drift. Realigning worn suspension parts doesn't fix the root issue. Here's what to do instead. Inspect your tires yourself. Look at both inner and outer edges. If wear is even and the steering feels stable, ask for the before and after alignment readings before approving anything. This check takes less than 2 minutes in the parking lot. Skip it repeatedly, and the small charges stack quietly over time. If this breakdown is helping you see the pattern, save this checklist. Scam 6. The lifetime fluid fear pitch. When a service advisor tells you your transmission fluid or coolant needs to be flushed immediately, ask one question first. Is there a leak, contamination, or a drivability issue? This is where confusion turns into profit. BMW often labels certain fluids as lifetime. Now, that doesn't mean forever. It usually means under normal driving conditions within a projected ownership cycle. But dealerships sometimes use fear language to override that label. You'll hear phrases like, "These transmissions fail if you don't service them," or "Fluid breaks down and causes internal damage." That sounds serious. So owners approve a flush. Here's the mechanism. Early fluid services are profitable because they combine parts, fluid, and significant labor time. A transmission service alone can range from $600 to $1,200. Coolant flushes can add several hundred more. The majority of that bill is labor and shop markup. But replacing fluid too early doesn't always extend component life. In some cases, unnecessary flushing introduces contamination risk or improper fluid refilling. That's rare, but it happens. You'll notice this pattern when there are no rough shifts, no overheating warnings, no leaks. Yet the service is presented as urgent. Here's how to go about it. First, check your owner's manual for the recommended interval under normal driving. Second, ask whether your specific driving habits qualify as severe use. Third, request documentation showing fluid condition if they claim it's degraded. If your BMW has high mileage, well past 100,000 miles, or shows symptoms like hard shifting or overheating, then a fluid service may be justified. But that decision should follow condition, not pressure. This is where it gets expensive because fluid services often come bundled. Once you approve one, others get suggested. And once dealerships shift from service recommendations to protection plans, the profit margin climbs even higher. That's where extended warranties enter the picture, and that conversation is structured very differently. Scam 7. The extended warranty pressure play. Before agreeing to any extended warranty, ask for the full contract in writing and check two things: the cancellation policy and the deductible per visit. This conversation usually happens in the finance office, not the service lane. You've already agreed on the car. You're focused on the monthly payment. Then the warranty presentation begins. It's positioned as protection. Modern BMW repairs are expensive. One repair can cost thousands. This gives you peace of mind, and that part is true. Repairs can be expensive. But here's what most buyers don't see. Dealerships often have significant markup flexibility on extended warranties. In many cases, margins can reach 40 to 60%. That means the price you're quoted is rarely the floor. A warranty priced at $4,000 might include over $1,000 in dealership profit. And if it's rolled into financing, you're paying interest on it for years. You'll notice pressure tactics like, "This price is only available today," or "You can't add it later." That urgency is part of the structure. If you notice a per-visit deductible and coverage caps buried in the contract, check the maximum payout limits, because that usually determines how useful the policy actually is. First, Ask if the warranty can be purchased later before the factory coverage expires. Second, request a breakdown of coverage exclusions. Third, compare the same warranty provider outside the dealership. A plan priced at $4,000 may be available elsewhere for significantly less. And if you never use it, that money stays in the finance column, not in repairs. There are situations where extended coverage makes sense, especially for high performance or high mileage drivers. But that decision should come from comparing risk, not reacting to pressure in the moment. Scam 8. Paint, ceramic, and interior protection markups. Before agreeing to any paint or interior protection package, ask one direct question. What exact product is being applied? And can I see the brand name in writing? This part of the sale feels harmless. We'll protect the paint. We'll seal the interior. It keeps resale value high. It sounds smart. It sounds preventative. But here's what most buyers never see. Many dealership protection packages use third-party products that cost the dealership a small fraction of what they charge you. A material that may cost under $100 can be sold for $900 to $2,000 once it's packaged, labeled as premium, and rolled into financing. The markup isn't in the chemistry, it's in the presentation. You can spot this when there's no clear product documentation, no detailed warranty terms, and no written maintenance instructions. If it were truly a high-end coating, you would receive brand paperwork and care guidelines. Here's what to do instead. Ask for the product name and warranty details in writing. Ask who performs the application and how long the process takes. Then compare the same service with a reputable, independent detailing shop. Professional ceramic coatings outside the dealership often cost less and come with clearer durability expectations. If this breakdown is helping you see how these charges stack up, save this checklist. Scam 9. Key replacement and accessory markups. If you're ever told you need a replacement key, don't approve it on the spot. Ask for the part number and the programming fee listed separately. This one catches people off guard because it usually happens in a moment of stress. A lost key, a damaged fob. You just want it fixed quickly. Dealerships know that. A replacement BMW key is often quoted between $600 and $900. It sounds believable because it's electronic, encrypted, and vehicle-specific. But the real cost breakdown tells a different story. The physical key itself may cost a few $100s. The rest is programming and dealership labor markup. Sometimes those fees are stacked together without explanation. Here's how to spot it. If the quote is presented as one flat number with no breakdown, ask for itemization. You want to see the cost of the key and the cost of programming listed separately. Now, compare that number to authorized locksmiths or BMW specialists. Scam 10. Financing office. Back-end add-ons. Before signing any paperwork in the finance office, ask for a fully itemized breakdown of every product included in your contract. Separate from the vehicle price. This is where the largest numbers hide. By the time you reach financing, you're tired. You've agreed on the car. You're thinking about the monthly payment. That's exactly why this stage is structured the way it is. Instead of focusing on total cost, the conversation shifts to affordability. It's only $60 more per month. It barely changes your payment. That language moves your attention away from the full price. Here's the mechanism. Products like gap coverage, wheel and tire insurance, extended appearance protection, and prepaid maintenance are bundled into the loan. When something adds $60 per month, it doesn't feel significant. But $60 per month equals $720 per year. Over 5 years, that becomes $3,600. And that's before interest. This is where it gets expensive. Many of these products carry high dealership margins. Some gap policies sold for over $1,000 may be available through insurance providers for a fraction of that. Wheel and tire coverage can exceed $2,000, even though many drivers never file a claim. You can spot this when the finance manager focuses on monthly payment changes instead of total product cost. First, request the full out-the-door total with every add-on removed. Second, ask for each product's standalone price. Third, decide whether you would pay for that product in cash today. If the answer is no, reconsider financing it. The bill isn't just the product price. It's the interest paid over time. Small monthly increases compound into thousands. And this is exactly why you need a simple system to protect yourself. Something that takes minutes, not hours, before you approve any invoice or contract. Now let's put everything together into one method that prevents nearly all of these dealership margin traps. Most dealership overcharges aren't dramatic. They're small, repeated approvals, early services, rounded labor hours, optional add-ons folded into financing. Individually, they feel manageable. Together, they cost thousands. And almost all of it is preventable. Use the BMW invoice audit method. Spend 10 minutes before approving any invoice. Compare each service to BMW's official schedule. Verify the labor hours. Ask for itemized pricing on every add-on. Slow down before signing anything tied to a monthly payment. 10 minutes per visit, roughly 2 hours a year, can prevent $2,000 to $5,000 in unnecessary charges over time. Separate maintenance from margin. Verify before you approve. Next, we're shifting to something different. The secret features your Audi has that no one has told you about, and how to unlock the hidden value built into the car you already own.